Today, we're going back in time, back to where it all began SharePoint. SharePoint is where I started my corporate career many a year ago. And within this landscape, Copilot has now been integrated. So, in today's video, we're going to take a look at all of the features and functionality for Copilot in your SharePoint experience. My name is Nick Harris, and I am a Senior Copilot Cloud Solution Architect with Microsoft. Welcome to the Microsoft 365 Copilot connection. All activity for SharePoint starts with creating your SharePoint site. I'm currently on the SharePoint Start page, and I have the ability to click the Create Site button in the top left-hand corner. Within this area, you have two site templates that you can start from, a team site or a communication site. But there's a new option, the ability to now create sites with Copilot. This feature is currently in preview, so may not yet be available for everybody. However, it's good experience to see how it works and functions. So let's hop on in. You are provided a chat box, just like you would any other Copilot experience. And this is where you define out what your site is. General note, this does not have access to all of your enterprise data. You're really just building the structure or the scaffold of what the site is, the document libraries, the lists, all the internal workings to get you started faster. The preferred approach that I teach on to create any form of content is to leverage the Prompt Coach agent. In this case, I've researched what Project Falcon is in Copilot chat, and then I'm injecting the Prompt Coach agent to review that chat and form a prompt for me to then create my SharePoint site. I've inserted my prompt from the prompt coach in the building experience. Let's submit it off and see what happens. After about 10 minutes, we've received our response. In the chat response on the left-hand side, you can see all of the structure that SharePoint Copilot has provided to us on what it will create when the site is created. On the right-hand side of this experience, we have a visual map of all of the content elements that Copilot will create. Here's an example of the variety of pages. Here's an example of all of the document libraries, and I think this is so cool because you can see the direct columns that it will create as well for our metadata, along with the associated views that would be included. Finally, you have the lists with their associated metadata columns and views. Before we build, we can also view the build plan. This build plan is very extensive and includes all of the build activities for the pages, the document libraries, and the lists. If there are any adjustments that I want to make, all I'm going to do is chat with Copilot. But in this case, we already have a ton of information that we'll be creating from, so let's create the site. After a bit of time, my site has created. Now, I will be honest with all of you. In the current state today, it took about 30 minutes for my site to create. We are actively working on making performance improvements, and remember, this feature is still in preview. I made sure to do other task work while this created in the background. Let's now check out the site. So I've given the site a once over. It does need some touch ups. There are a ton of navigation links on the left hand side. There are some placeholder web parts that it added that didn't really have any content within them. But the really cool thing is on the right hand side, I can modify any of those elements that have been created on my review. So let's go to the homepage edit option. This will bring me directly to the page editing experience, and we have Copilot built in to modify our pages. So let's prompt to change the page. So in the prompt, we're going to remove a bunch of web parts and make some modifications to certain sections on the page and add a people web part at the very end, including my account and Daichi's account. The page has officially been updated. We have a new one section web part for project areas, our status updates list, a new picture that was inserted, and a people web part with my account and Daichi. So since we have Copilot Chat built into the page design experience, I've now navigated into a brand new blank page that we want to build for the project. And I'm having Copilot plan out all the modifications and changes that it will make for me. In this case, we've prompted, plan out the creation of a modern brand-oriented page to tell the story of Project Falcon. Utilize a lot of imagery and accessible colors. Ground in enterprise data to understand what Project Falcon is. Copilot then responds and provides us the page direction, recommended page structure, visual style, content tone, and best source material to build from. I can also review the citations to ensure that all of the enterprise data is accurate to what Project Falcon is. And now we'll indicate create the first draft. So the page just finished. It looks really good. We have the initial information here grounded in my enterprise data, those data sources that we just created from. We have some initial information to include on what Project Falcon is, why it matters, some little design, brand style imagery, sort of different color coded sections, some additional imagery, progress so far, work streams in motion, more descriptive information, lots of text. I see. Looks like some maybe quick link button click options here at the bottom. So, initial material that I can start from. Of course, I can continue to chat or use some of the AI enhanced web parts. Still modifying the page, I can create sections using Copilot. I can prompt and generate a section of web part information. AI enhanced web parts include the agent link web part, the fax web part, and the text web part. So let's check out some list functionality. I've navigated into a budget tracker list that the site creation experience created for us. It has some sample data in here. We don't want that, so let's remove it with Copilot Chat. I'll simply prompt remove all items in this list. And now the SharePoint experience responds to remove all the items. I can also add items to this list. I already have files of information, enterprise data, that includes information on our Project Falcon budget. So let's use that information to create brand new list items for tracking purposes. To add the list items, let's prompt review the Project Falcon tracking Excel workbook, specifically the budget worksheet, and add budget list items. And while those create, here are all of the items in that particular workbook. Let's see if it adds this information to the list. So this is really cool. Just like would happen naturally, the Excel file data I have doesn't cleanly map to the SharePoint list. So prior to adding the list items, Copilot Chat has indicated this information to me and really wants direction on how to move forward. So we'll just simply prompt yes. Go ahead. There we go. Copilot's responded. It's pulled from our work data. We now have to approve each individual list item that we add to the list. Let's run through the process and see what it looks like when we're finished. After approving, here's the finished list, and it includes all of the metadata that it was able to pull directly from that Excel file. Now within your list in your document libraries, you also have Copilot-enabled actions that you can leverage. If I click on Edit List, I'm shown a variety of actions at my disposal, not just for adding or editing list items, but also editing the list itself, including building in new columns or taking them away, and working with views, allowing me to review my data in different forms. The Enhanced Readability option submits a prompt to the prompting box, allowing us to format the list to make it easier to scan both rows and columns based on the importance and type of information. It's now color coded the row coloration for easier viewability, and it's color coded the status and the review date column with conditional formatting rules. The next option is to set up an automation via chat. When we open this option, it opens up the rules dialog, where we have direct access to create base rules for things like notifications on new items, or tracking any items that are approaching a due date, or enabling approvals for this particular list. Now, in this list, I have a review date column, so let's set up a rule to get a reminder one day prior to the review date. I now have a list rule that's been created to email me one day before that particular date, and in the output, it's indicated how it will provide the reminder. If I click on the Edit button, it will open up the full Open Rules Management panel. The Manage Rules panel allows us to see any rule that we have enabled, and we can manually create our own rules if we so choose. The Find Items option allows you to search with Copilot for any item that exists within that list. I noticed that at some point the list was updated so that my number columns showed up as date columns. So I just even tried to prompt to review those columns and change them back, and it did it. So some pretty cool ways that if it makes any mistakes, you can just shift it back. The Create a Form option allows me to create a basic custom form for the list. We have the same form of options in document libraries. However, there are some additional options available to you. If I click on the Copilot icon in the bottom right hand corner, you can see here we can create autofill columns, create new views, set up rules, and just ask general questions. Let's go ahead and try out create autofill columns. We'll add our autofill columns. We'll submit that off. All right, there we go. So we see it's responded. It's generated 3 metadata columns to tag our documents. And what this does is it generates a prompt that Copilot will run against each individual file, analyze that file contents, and then fill out the metadata property based on what is found. I can go to the project phase metadata column here. I can see the autofill prompt is identify the project phase referenced in the document. Return the phase as a capitalized word. If not found, return not found. I can also modify this prompt. I can change the type. I can change what the prompt is. It's up to me how I want to customize this experience. But getting metadata now inside of your documents in an automated fashion is available to you. Once you click the keep button, all of those metadata columns are then saved inside of your document library and will be auto applied when you upload new files. I've just uploaded this AI's 10-year transformation presentation. Let's give it a moment and see if the metadata applies. And there we go. We see the presentation now has the autofill metadata properties assigned. And if we view the activity menu, we can see the updates. Processing autofill column data does take some time. So if you want to check status, navigate to the ribbon bar for your document library at the top and select the option for autofill columns and view recent activity. Now, one of the main reasons that we want to create metadata columns to tag our documents is the ability to generate custom views. Within the Copilot menu, we can select Create New View. So in this case, let's create a new view that sorts all documents by the phase status column type with the Design in Progress option and groups all entries by the KPI metric column. It now provides me a preview of what this new view looks like for my confirmation. I can then, on the right-hand side chat experience, save or make my modifications. Now, SharePoint Agents, one of the easiest agent experiences for any person to build. There's a variety of ways to access and create an agent inside of your site. For example, off of the homepage, I can select from the new drop-down menu. Within both my document library and my list experience, if I navigate to the navigation above the library or list and select the Copilot dropdown, that's where I can also create an agent. So let's imagine a scenario where we want an agent that is smart on the project data that exists inside of this SharePoint site, and specifically in very particular locations. I'm starting off with the project documents library here, and if I create an agent in this experience, it will automatically scope to that document library for me. I can confirm this by navigating to the sources area and validating the knowledge. So you see project documents is listed, but I can also add additional knowledge sources. I can add additional document libraries, folders, and files from the site, and pick and choose the particular areas of content that I require. Looks like in our regular documents library, we have this Project Falcon tracking file. I'll select this. We can add that individually. And there we go. We have a few sources that now the agent can ground in. One very important behavior to note. If I select the From OneDrive option, I have the ability to add lists. So here's an example of all of the lists that exist in my current SharePoint site. If I select a list and want to add it as a knowledge source, SharePoint agents are currently limited to either focusing on document content knowledge or list knowledge. You cannot have both. So, long story short, SharePoint agents are pretty easy to configure. On the Overview tab, I have the name, I have the icon, and the agent's purpose. We've already seen the source data. And the final section that may take a little bit of work is going to be the behavior section, and this is really how I want the agent to respond, including the agent instructions. I like to also think of the agent instructions like its personality. I've updated the agent instructions just a bit. Here they are. And now let's test. We have the agent chat preview on the right. Tell me about Project Falcon. Let's see what it does. All right, so we've received our response. We always want to validate. So here is a citation. That looks good. Looks like one of the sources we have in our document library. I can scroll down. I have a few sources as well. Always validate that it's pulling only from the sources you've defined in the knowledge section. In this case, we're good to go. Once you're comfortable, click Create, and now it tells you where the agent is located. We now see our Project Falcon 3 agent file listed in our document library. I can click on the agent, I can open up the chat directly. When I open up the agent file, I can edit the agent at the top. I can also set the agent as approved. You might be curious, if I set it as approved, what does that mean? Site owners and members, those that can edit, update, and control all the admin perspective of the site, can set as approved for site visitors to use the agent. Visitors would have read access and can consume information in the site. So that might be something like, hey, we have this really large public site. We want a knowledge agent available to answer questions for people. We will set that as approved. And then anybody going to that site in our organization can ask questions about all the data that exists in its knowledge storage locations. So let's go ahead and set as approved, and it will automatically move this agent file to the site assets library if done. Set as approved, and success. Accessing agents is really easy. All I have to do is click on the Open Agents dialog in the top right-hand corner, and I can select from the particular agents that exist in my SharePoint site, or if I've recently used across my SharePoint experience. So here's Project Falcon 3. We can open that up, and there we have our chat pane. One of the final features I want to note here is if I open up the agent chat pane, I can also select this option for copy link for Teams. When I do this, I can take the agent over to a Teams chat experience to then inject that agent into the chat with my colleagues. There we go, we have our link. And in this conversation with Billy, I will paste that agent link into the chat, and I'll send the message off. Now I'm going to click the button to add to this chat, and Teams indicates that we've now added the Project Falcon 3 agent. The Project Falcon agent also decided to respond a little bit, so it's asking some of the starter prompts in the chat. What I can also do, just like any other person, I can @mention this agent to talk directly to it. So now I've @mentioned the Project Falcon 3 agent, and I'm prompting in the chat box. Provide a briefing on what Project Falcon is. We now see the Project Falcon agent is responding. So now here's something very intriguing. The agent identifies that Billy does not have access to the Project Falcon team site. So it's asking me to view the response prior to posting the message for Billy to view as well. So I'll click View Response, and here's the initial response. We can expand the full response down. We can review all the response details. And at the bottom, we can see all of the documents that are cited from the Project Falcon team site. Billy does not have access to these. So we have to confirm that any information pulled from files that people do not have access to is allowed in this chat. If I want to allow Billy to continue to work with this agent and chat with it, I can select the Don't Ask About These Files Again for 24 hours option, and Billy can talk to the agent about the files that have been cited here. I'll click Send, and now the full message has been posted in my Teams chat. Looking forward, there will be new changes happening within Copilot for SharePoint. One of the major announcements, which was just announced last month with our What's New in Copilot blog, linked in the description below, is the ability to add custom skills inside of your SharePoint Copilot chat. Custom skills are like pieces of automation that you can run in the chat experience to automate a variety of actions for you. The What's New in Copilot blog post indicates that this was rolled out in May. I have yet to see these updates in my tenant environment, so watch out for these updates within the next 1 to 2 months. So that's it for me for today, everyone. Thank you all so much for your support as always. If you like this content, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Your support's always appreciated. If you have any comments, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Subscribe if you are not already, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a good one, everyone.